Hi, good afternoon. This is GIGIL, and we're on the Gig Back series, episode 1 of I Don't Give a Shoot. This is actually the repeat. This is the repeat session. We had one a couple of weeks ago, but we had limited seats then. But now we've opened it up to pretty much everybody. So it's now on Facebook Live, and everybody can watch it right now. Very quickly, we'd like to introduce ourselves. Next slide, please. I'm Jake, and with me on the line are Badong and Herbert. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
All right. Next slide, please. Hello. So, as a group, we've been fortunate to have collected some of these awards and recognitions the past few years. And next slide. But the one award that we're really proud of is the award we won a couple of years back for at the Effie Awards. If you guys are familiar with the Effie Awards, it's an award-giving body that recognizes work that's not just creative for creativity's sake, but really move the needle for the brand, and whether that needle is brand health scores or brand volume or brand sales. So really, really solid results. And again, now we've been shortlisted at the Effie Awards for a campaign we ran for Levi's a couple of years ago. Next slide. So obviously we're in this situation right now, crisis, pandemic, and the most obvious question for a lot of brand people and marketing people would be, this is a different situation. Should I still do advertising for my brand? The answer would be yes. And the other question that usually pops up as well would be, will people care about what I'll do? And the answer is yes. All right. So next slide. If the answers to these questions are yes, then how the F can I do it given the situation, given the circumstances right now? Here's how. Next slide. So again, the title of this series is called the Gig Back series. It's called I Don't Give a Shoot, the repeat session, creative ideas for brands to escape the lockdown. So we'll just quickly run through a few reminders. Next slide, please. The title of this series is called, or the title of the session is I Don't Give a Shoot, but please, no swearing. We didn't have enough time to run that by the ASC, so no swearing for now. Next reminder would be, this is going to be a 1-hour session. It's going to be packed with a lot of case studies, a lot of insights. It's going to be the pace is going to be brisk and fast. So we hope you'll be able to pick up a few things from this session today. And finally, if you have questions along the way, please don't hesitate to write them down on the comments box, and we'll try to answer most, or if we can, all of them at the end of the session. All right. Next slide. So with us also today for this webinar are Gino, who's our head of social, Joni, who's our associate creative director, and Miko, who's our account supervisor. Say hi, guys.
Hello. Now we want to say hi also to our viewers from Superstar Music page and the Double Magazine.
Yep. Hey guys. Hey Superstar.
Thanks for all the help.
So, next.
Yeah. So, ayun nga, si Jake brought up na madaming tanong on what should be happening to us, what we should be doing. And we have to acknowledge na yung natural reflex talaga natin in the industry was to withdraw, to cut the budgets, to go dark, to pause everything, thinking na people naman can go out and buy anyway. Thinking na whatever we release, baka magkagulo yung mga tao, they might find us insensitive, gano'n. But what we've discovered is that this is the time wherein brands shouldn't go on mute, because it will be harder for them to recover after the lockdown if they actually do go on mute. Analysis shows, based on the Kantar data, that brands who go totally dark in these times could actually lose 13% of their existing volume sales, which is a market share that could be very hard to recover in the future. And in a work update about the COVID-19, during the 2008 global financial crash, it was found out that those who were trying to advertise more during the financial crash actually saw market share growth grow by 4.5% in the future. So those who try to communicate are the ones who grew. So ang takeaway naman for us is that for any given brand, it is actually a good idea to spend during financial recessions if we have the capability, because share of voice is very crucial and it will benefit the brand in the long term, just as it did in the past recession. So that's according to Dr. Cohen Powell's from Northeastern University. And this is also coming from a research on the recession in the 1999, that in a recessionary setting, those companies who cut investment by 50% in a year have to take 2 years at least to recover that lost share. So, yun din, mapapaisip tayo, if we pause now, kailangan natin siyang bunuin, kailangan natin siyang bawiin in the next 2 years to get to the normal level. But those who increase their exposure during a downturn or during a recessionary setting, sila yung nakaka-gain ng 3 times more share in the market in the first 2 years of recovery. So it's a good benefit for those who keep on advertising. And yung next question naman, okay, game tayo mag-market ulit, pero may manunood ba? May audience ba? The good news is, the audience is still here, people are watching more TV, and of course, we're more online. So, during this crisis, specifically in the Asia Pacific, people are more watching during the weekdays. So data shows that in the Philippines specifically, TV has gained an additional 3.8 million viewers on any given minute in a day, which is a 27% growth from pre-COVID period ng January to March 7. So nag-boom yung viewership pa dahil nga naman nasa bahay yung mga tao. And even after the shutdown of the media giant ABS-CBN, Filipinos still continued to consume yung media. It's just that nag-split yung migration ng viewership to the different channels and platforms like cable TV or the other free-to-air TV channel that is available and other apps and online platforms. But, hey, meron tayong viewership, meron tayong go signal na data shows it's best for us to advertise during the recession. How about the materials? Ngayon na bawal mag-shoot. That's where we come in. Only 8% actually, according to a study ng Twitter, says that brands should stop advertising during the pandemic. So, hindi against yung tao. You hear it from them themselves na mag-advertise tayo. And what they expect us to do.
From Kantar?
Yes, sorry. From Kantar, from their analysis na COVID-19 barometer last March 2020, that only 8% of people just say na brands should stop advertising. The rest expect advertisers to continue. So what should we do about that? I'll turn you over to Joni.
Thanks, Gino. So, bago tayo mag-proceed, I want to remind everyone lang na pwede kayong mag-comment ng mga questions nyo na sasagutin natin sa latter part ng presentation. So again, the title of our presentation, Don't Give a Shoot. So, in our industry, freedom has always been glorified as the ultimate dream of every creative brief. So alam natin yan, na go wild, anything under the sun is okay, and open brief. So sobrang excited tayo pagdating dyan. Pero, on the contrary, next slide please, the sharpest and the most single-minded briefs and situations are the ones that bring out the most impactful ideas. So human creativity benefits from constraints. The more limited you are, mas gumagana yung isip natin kung paano tayo mag-focus doon. So this is because limitations force us to be even more creative by clarifying the tools we can and we cannot use. Psychologically, pag limited ka, you tend to dedicate your mental energy dun sa bagay na yon. Because limitation channel every creative force into fighting a clear single enemy instead of spreading that energy trying to headhunt. So there is no clear positive limitation for creativity other than the situation right now. So let's look at COVID-19 as a challenge sa mga creative, sa creative industry, kung paano natin ngayon mag-reach yung target market natin habang tayo ay limited because of quarantine and lockdown. So ano ba yung mga dapat natin gawin or ano ba yung limitation in reference dun sa COVID? First, wala tayong shoot, mahirap yung activation, and then mahirap magpa-ASC, mahirap magpa-approve dahil online sila. So nag-iba lahat talaga. So first, what we can do is we can actually repurpose yung ad na meron tayo. But repurposing doesn't mean na gagamitin mo siya as it is. We can reinvent it, we can make it even more efficient and better kung ano man yung existing na meron tayo. At iyon yung ginawa ng Old Spice dun sa videos nila na lumabas noong 2012 at ni-repurpose nila, ni-launch nila last month. So let's watch this video.
Washer, 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 hands, don't go, out with, bridge.
So that's Old Spice encouraging us na talagang stay inside dahil makakasave ka ng buhay. Ngayon naman, panoorin natin kung saan nanggaling yung repurpose na ad na yun. Video play please.
Muscle, 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 what? Muscle, 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 blast, muscle, 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 what? Muscle, 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 blast. Keyboard solo. Flame sax. Danger. What? Danger, 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 danger. And that's the power of music. Now you try. Make music with my muscle parts using your keyboard device. Do it!
Yep, so that's Old Spice na nag-repurpose nila yung video nila noong 2012 and 2015 by simply changing yung line na from muscle, muscle, muscle what? Muscle, muscle, muscle flex to washer, washer, washer hands. Totally nagbago yung objective ng video. And aside from that video, meron pa tayong another sample from Old Spice. So let's watch this.
Let's hang out. It's what you shouldn't say. Stay inside. Seriously, you'll save lives.
Yep, so yun yung repurpose ad nila na ni-launch nitong last month lang. And then, i-check ulit natin this time kung saan siya nanggaling.
Hello, ladies. It's what a dummy would say. Smart people use bear Trees and sticks? No thanks!
So there, so by simply changing then yung line from hello ladies, this is what a dummy will say to let's hang out, that's what you shouldn't say. So nabago totally yung atmosphere and yung objective nung ad. So by the way, we want this webinar to be interactive, kaya pwede kayong mag-comment ng question nyo o kung may clarification kayo, comment nyo lang dun sa comment section sa baba, and then sa latter part ng presentation, sasagutin natin yan. So yeah, aside from sample case study from Old Spice, ganun din yung ginawa ng Budweiser. So same idea, ni-repurpose nila yung ad nila by simply changing a line dun sa existing na material nila. Totally nagbago yung objective ng video. So now, panoorin muna natin yung repurpose na ad nila na ni-launch din habang tayo ay nasa quarantine and lockdown.
Able to pick up good yardage on the play. You know, the best part of this defense is their defensive line and their interior.
Hello?
Hey, who? What's up?
Nothing, B. In quarantine, having a bud. What's up with you?
Nothing. Quarantining, having a bud.
True. True.
What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
Hello?
What's that?
What's up? Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Duke.
Yo.
What's that? What's that?
See you okay, B?
I'm good, B. Just quarantining, having a bud. Thanks for checking in.
So that's Budweiser, yung repurpose ad nila, #together at a distance. And then ngayon naman, i-check natin kung saan nanggaling to. Actually, yung film na to is an award-winning film noong 1999. So let's watch this.
Hello? Hey, who? What's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True.
What's up? What's up? Yo, who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone.
Hello?
What's that?
What's up? Yo, where's Dookie?
Yo, Duke.
Yo.
What's that? What's that?
Hold on. Hello?
So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
So that's the award winning ad nung Budweiser nung 1999 na nalong Can Lion and Clio. So by simply changing yung line nila na in quarantine having a bud, totally nagbago na yung intent nung video. So it shows lang na hindi natin kailangan ng shoot, hindi natin kailangan ng ng shoot para magpatuloy ngayong lockdown. So that's the intention of this webinar. Yep.
Joni, no?
Yes, Mark?
Dagdag ko lang na pwedeng, I mean, I can imagine any brands, merong mga iconic silang mga existing or mga past commercials, pwede nyo isipin na, diba? Pwede nyo i-repurpose yun and to think of a new messaging na bagay ngayon.
Yeah. So actually, hindi lang film, no? Even other materials na pwede, we can repurpose it and launch it at gawin siyang relevant sa kung ano man yung crisis. So yeah, that's repurposing ads. So second point that we can do is actually we can use graphics. So hindi natin kailangan ng shoot na malaki, hindi natin kailangan ng super cinematic na ad, hindi natin kailangan ng eye candy. We can use graphics lang to communicate and to reach out dun sa consumer natin. At yun yung ginawa nung Ford dun sa ad nila na nilaunch lang this month. So let's watch this video. So there, big bold text lang and then yung messaging, na-deliver nila kung ano yung gusto nilang sabihin dun sa consumer nila na they got their backs and then kami ang bahala sa inyo sa crisis nito because we're built to do that right now. So yun yung ginawa ng Ford and even sa mga ad natin, we can also do that. The intention is mas sincere. Hindi mo kailangan ng extreme graphics or what or food fraud or ano pa man. Ang kailangan mo lang is yung sincerity to do that. If you don't want to use graphics or if you can't use graphics, why not try animation? Use the magic of animation para ma-reach yung target market natin. So sa Australia, of course, may lockdown din, meron din quarantine, but the thing there, habang ikaw nakakulong sa bahay, hindi maiwasan yung domestic violence. So ang ginawa ngayon ng Australian government, nag-launch sila ng ad and ginamit nila yung animation to encourage people na magsumbong and to tell them na help is here. So let's watch this animation from Australian government.
Tough times don't excuse tougher times at home. Even in crisis, there's no place for abuse or domestic violence. If you or someone you know is affected, help is available online and by phone 24/7. For free, confidential advice, support and counselling for women and men, contact 1-800-RESPECT. There's no place for abuse or domestic violence. Help is here. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Yeah, so very simple animation and then ang ganda and you can say na nandun pa rin yung core ng message kahit hindi kailangan ng shoot. So that's the beauty of using animation. Actually, we're talking dun sa mga animators and then if you have questions regarding that, you can reach out. And depende rin yung haba ng paggawa ng animation, depende dun sa technicalities, depende dun sa difficulty, dun sa klase ng art na nagagamitin, dun sa effects. So, yung video na yun, we ask yung isang professional animator and then ang sabi niya kung same video ang gagamitin, they can do that in just 2 weeks. So, that's the power of animation. And then, kung hindi man animation, kung hindi man graphics, we can shoot using our phone. Because right now, everyone's a director, right? So everyone's a writer, lahat, pwedeng maging star. And I think that's the beauty of social media. Lahat may access. So let's watch this video from Land Rover na kung saan ginamit lang nila ay phone to encourage people to explore the great indoors.
Just imagine every day it's just me and you. Just imagine the sky that would always be blue. Just imagine there's nothing, girl, that we couldn't do.
Just trust in me.
When I close my eyes, the only image I see is sharing our lives. Baby, that's our destiny. Just imagine a life with us together, we two. Just imagine all of our dreams coming true. Just imagine there's nothing, girl, that we couldn't do.
Just trust in me.
Yep, that's Land Rover encouraging consumers encouraging everyone to explore the great indoors. So, by the way, you can post questions sa comment section natin and sasagutin natin yan after the presentation or sa latter part ng presentation natin. So right now, marami na tayong nakitang mga ad using their phone, encouraging yung consumer nila na mag-shoot ng video and ginagawa nilang ad. So still, the idea should be big para talagang mag-work. Hindi lang maging katulad ng ibang mga ads na ginagawa. So that's shooting using your phone this quarantine. And then aside from that, you can also use yung mga emerging technologies and apps. So ngayon ang dami ng sabi nila ito na yung new normal. But with the help of technology and app, patuloy pa rin tayo nakakapag-work. So we're thinking, why don't we take advantage of the existing technologies and app para magamit natin to reach out dun sa target market natin. The beauty of it is present sa lahat, nandun lahat ng tao, and it's entertaining. So panoorin natin kung ano yung ginawa ng Coors Light para ma-encourage yung mga tao na uminom ng beer. So let's watch this video.
Love your neighbors, your brother. Who knows the pain and who knows
clever idea na lahat naman tayo hindi gustong mag-Zoom eh. Di ba sa mga meeting, lalo pa sa mga work from home. Hindi lahat tayo pinanganak para humarap sa camera. Pero with that clever idea, nagagawa mo gusto mo. Di ba? Don't worry right now, totoong tao po kami. Hindi kami from clone machine ng course. So gumagalaw kami. Ayan, so...
Ayun, hello.
Ayun.
I put my camera on again just to make sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Jake. So sa local scene naman tayo, check naman natin kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga local agencies natin and then yung mga local brands din. So travel from home from Department of Tourism. So ang ginawa nila using yung Zoom app dahil lahat tayo ay mahilig mag-travel, lahat tayo ay mahilig sa mga hashtag travel goals. Dahil hindi tayo makakapag-travel, so virtual travel na lang tayo. Binigyan nila tayo ng Zoom background na depende sa time kung kailan gusto gamitin. So may Zoom background pag umaga, Zoom background pag gabi, Zoom background pag tanghali. And lahat yan featuring, highlighting yung mga travel destinations sa Pilipinas. Feels like nagsa-travel ka na rin habang nasa Zoom meeting. Right? So that's the beauty of it. And you can actually check yung website ng DOT influencer. Ayan. You can check yung website ng DOT and then i-download nyo yung mga video. I mean, yung mga Zoom background, pwede kayo mag-change ng background anytime. And enjoy. Gamitin yung virtual travel habang nasa mga Zoom meeting. And by the way, reminder lang, you can post questions sa comment section. And then sasagutin natin yan sa end ng ating presentation. And of course, we want to thank you for staying with us dito sa I Don't Give a Shoot presentation namin. So yeah, aside from Zoom, aside from other emerging apps, you can also use yung TikTok. So feel natin lahat yan na lahat nagti-TikTok. So 99% sa mga Pinoy ay nagti-TikTok. Pagpasok ng lockdown, pagpasok ng quarantine, sobrang nag-spike yung downloads nila. And worldwide, meron silang more than 500 million users. And panoorin natin kung ano yung ginawa ng PNG to take advantage of this app.
Why you so negative? Let them all talk, they ain't relevant. Baby girl, you can just stay a bit. Calm down, we can just settle this, yeah. Inhale, exhale, breathe slowly, right? Calm down.
Yep, so tinap nila yung #1 influencer sa TikTok na merong more than 15 million na subscribers or followers. And then pinasayaw nila yung distance dance. Ang sabi ng PNG, sabi ng PNG, pag umabot ng 3 million, magkakaroon sila, magdodonate sila. And right now, meron na silang more than 8 million views. And then marami nang gumaya o gumawa ng version nila dun sa TikTok. Another way na kung paano tayo mag-take advantage dun sa existing app. Aside from TikTok, meron din tayong mga local app na trending or emerging din ngayon, kamukha ng Kumu. Right? So live streaming app siya, you can check, and then ang daming tao. Ang ginagawa lang nila, nagsho-show lang sila, nagla-live lang sila, may pa-game show, si Mayor, ganyan. So ang daming nangyayari dun sa Kumu. Ang ganda dun kasi namamonetize yung views mo, pwedeng maging pera. And the beauty of it, above all, ay gawang Pinoy. So support local, love local. So, yep, that's the use of emerging technology. Ngayon naman, kung matanong nyo, film lang ba? So, we say hindi lang film, hindi lang videos, hindi lang mga kamukha ng mga sample na nakita nyo. The idea has to come out with the materials Filipinos will talk about. So, the brand rises above the beam. So, the question ngayon, paano tayo mapapansin sa dami ng mga nag-propose about frontliners, sa dami na nag-propose ng stay at home, so mga ganyan. So, ang kailangan ay yung big idea. The idea should be big. And then, first we can do is we can actually entertain. Diba? So, hindi lang tayo magpapaiyak, hindi lang tayo magdo-donate. Marami pa tayong pwedeng gawin aside from those things. And one ay entertain. So, panoorin natin kung paano tayo in-entertain ni Orokan sa ngayong quarantine. Let's watch this video.
Naisipan natin at ng Orokan, come up ng isang show na pampaaliw naman, pampasaya para sa ating mga taong bahay.
Orocan, Kubeta Got Talent!
Ilang dito
Oh,
nawala
lalakay sa gitna ng dilim.
Kinalimutan kahit nahihirapan.
maaari bang makausap ka?
Whenever you're ready, i-flash mo na ako, beta mo. Sig!
Shout out sa mga frontliners. So sana naaling namin. Sa hospital, nurse po kasi ako.
Whenever I see girls and boys.
Yun, maraming salamat contestant. Yan, kay number 1, number 2, and number 4. Yan, congratulations po sa ating lahat.
And I want to thank Orocan dahil po sa ganitong patimpalak nila, dahil lahat po ng mga bagot ngayon na entertain dahil po sa amin. And syempre po sa organizers, ayan, thank you so much po.
Yep, so that's Orocan Kubeta Got Talent. So Bert, do you want to say something sa Orocan Kubeta Got Talent?
Yun nga eh. Ang nakakatuwa niyan, at first akala namin, parang tinatansya pa namin kung, kasi peak yun ng quarantine. Pero nagulat kami, inisip namin baka insensitive, ganun. Pero at the end of the day, sobra sila nagpapasalamat. Dahil syempre, ang maraming kwento na about sadness, about anong nangyayari. Pero kami, tinry namin i-entertain sila, addressing the mental health naman issue na marami nang nababato. And tulad na dun sa pinakita naming video, sa last, as in thank you sila ng thank you na nababagot na raw sila sa bahay. So yun, isang way lang rin is to entertain. Aside from selling your product, naging entertain ka sa nila. And right now, they are looking for sense of normalcy rin eh. They want, gusto nila maging masaya na eh. Kaya nga sobrang hit na hit yung mga Netflix, anything na pwede silang maka-escape sa anong nangyayari ngayon. So isa yon is if your brand is giving entertainment. So may guest tayo ngayon, no?
Tamang-tama.
May guest ngayon. Jake,
kasama
introduce.
natin yung boss
Yeah. We have a special guest on the line, si Richard from Orocan. Richard.
Siyempre, ang
Hi, Richard.
client namin.
There you go.
Hi guys. Hi.
Ayan, siya yung client namin, siya yung mga nag-approve ng mga napapanood yung mga video namin from Orocan. So, what can you say about the campaign? Pwedeng kwento ka, Richard?
Sige. Well, nung start nung ECQ, no, nag-chat kami ni Herbert, no, and we talked about helping out, no, and yun nga, na the only way na we could have helped really was to entertain the people, di ba? Yun, so nag-pitch yung team ng singing contest sa banyo, which became nga the Kubeta Got Talent na that we've been talking about, you know. So as usual, natakot ako dun sa idea. Kasi of course, baka mag-backfire. And syempre, yung ideas nila medyo nakakatakot rin. Pero I decided to push through because one, it was in line with our brand identity, no? So coming from our campaign that we were telling, we were very honest about our product, no? Yeah. Now we're telling people that sa banyo sila magaling kumanta, di ba?
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, and it's also something that the brand can own, di ba? Since we're in a lot of Filipino kubetas. So, yun, so madaming banyo may tabo pati timba, di ba? And of course, secondly, the cost, no? you have to make sure then that the company can afford to do something like this at a time when cash flows are negative and walang budget, di ba? You have to be willing to invest in something like this, di ba? So although we haven't really seen the complete results yet, I think it was worth it for me because I think naging top of mind kami, and hopefully after the quarantine, when people start to buy their housewares, they remember us and they choose to buy our items. Diba?
Correct.
Yep, for sure yun Richard na tatakbo sila para bumili ng mga oro kantabot timba para mag-concert sa mga kubeta nila.
and mataas yung demand. Ang taas nga ang demand eh. Ang daming gusto pang sumali and hopefully magka-season 2.
Dami nag-enjoy actually.
Yeah, at ang nakakatawa, even yung mga audience, nagbibigay sila ng prize. Meron nang nagbibigay ng voice lesson.
Biglang nag-offer na lang siya na magbigay ng voice lessons to the winner. So, really good reception for the campaign.
Yeah. And hindi nga namin mapagkasya yung mga sumali dun sa show. We need to come up with another game within the game show para lang para lang mapasok yung mga entries. So, thank you so much, Richard.
Thanks Richard.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you, Richard.
Salamat.
So the point is, hindi natin kailangan gayahin yung iba na donate or what, to help or what. So we can check kung ano yung meron dun sa brand identity ng brand natin para talagang makatulong in our own ways. So
actually, credit to Richard, no? Kasi sabi niya kanina na natatakot siya dun sa idea. But he was also the same client that we had to approve the home TV shopping idea, no? Which was so very brave results as well for the brand. I mean, spectacular metrics in terms of virality and also in terms of media coverage and free media earned for the brand. So we really feel that
and of course sales.
So if you are brave and if you are on strategy, it can only do and reap for you very, very brave results as well. In this time, in the context of the lockdown, people need an escape. I think it was still pitch perfect in terms of an idea that could have been and only done by a product like Oro.
Yep. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you, Richard. And with partnership din pala yun ng Substar Music. Together with Okay.
Yep, go ahead, Gino.
Gene, so other ways to advertise in this situation is also to be agile. So the first few weeks of the quarantine, sobrang umangat yung Ligo because they were able to be agile and respond to what's happening in social media. So they used yung products nila, yung brand nila to do a commentary to what people are talking about, kung ano yung nararamdaman talaga ng tao, everything that's happening to the country and to the government. So sila yung naging boses ng mga taong medyo may hinanakit sa gobyerno and sila yung kinampihan ng mga tao. And yun din, baka meron ba tayong point of view as a brand na pwede nating ipahiram o meron bang boses ng part ng nation na pwedeng bigyan natin ng platform using our brand. Yun yung mga pwede natin explore aside from the other that we've presented. Another thing that was agile, ito is a case study of Icebreaker. So they are a brand of mints na nakakita ng 40 to 50% drop in sales noong April 2020. So yun nga, hindi naman essential yung mints, luho pa nga siya eh. Pero nakita nila na may opportunity to sell their product and to be relevant, especially now that everyone's forced to wear masks. And walang ibang makakaamoy ng hinga mo, kundi ang sarili mo. Especially nakamask ka, nakamouth to mouth ka sa sarili mo. So ngayon mo kailangan ng mints, di ba? Pag niisip mo, walang ibang makakaamoy naman pag nag-mask ako, pag di ako nag-toothbrush, ikaw ang makakaamoy. So dun sila pumasok, #mint before you mask. So we have a video for this.
Thank you for wearing a mask. For grandparents, neighbors, and cashiers. How about a mint before you mask? Because mask breath It's real.
So, important din. Kasi we can find, ang daming bumagsak na businesses, pero we can find a relevance back into the industry. Another way to be agile also is this case study from Click. So Click is a loyalty program by 7-Eleven. So every time you buy from 7-Eleven, you earn points na pwede mong gamitin ipang-redeem ng 7-Eleven products like City Blends, coffee, siopaw, gulp. So medyo mga treats lang yung mga prizes na meron sila noon. But now, nung ginawa nila ng quarantine was to transform yung buong catalog nila and change it to products na essential like sugar, rice, delata, noodles, kung ano yung kailangan talaga ng mga tao. Para yung mga walang pera, yung points na yung gagamitin nila para magamit ngayong quarantine. And actually, we have our client, Dina Santos from Click, their marketing manager, to talk
Hello,
about
Dina.
Hey, Dina.
this campaign.
Hi! Okay. For Click naman, it's simple. Actually, yung pinagsimulaan talaga, we were thinking about it, but someone kasi posted sa Facebook page ni Click na sana naman magpa-redeem kayo sa Click ng mga canned goods. So parang that was a push na parang, okay, so there's really a need for it. So for Click naman, what we did, the objective lang is to expand the catalog to have basic commodities which people can redeem using their points or to give it to others. Kasi we realize, even if you don't have money during the season but you accumulated enough points, at least you can buy something na urgent. Like kasi the ones, as Gino mentioned, the ones that we have talaga before, mga on-premise mo kakainin. And during the ECQ, diba, dining is not allowed. So, we transitioned the entire catalog, and then maganda yung results niya. In 2 weeks time, we were able to help 53,000 users redeem something from the catalog. More than 130 plus items redeemed. So marami siyang natulungan. And then on the brand side naman, I think yung isang pinamalaking contribution din of the Click Mass Tasting was not a lot of people knew that we have rice, bigas in the store, but because we highlighted the bigas and the rewards catalog, now a lot of people know na they can buy bigas na sa 7-Eleven. Na mura ha, like our 2.5 kilo bigas is what, 105, 110 or less than 100 pa yata.
Competitive price siya.
Oo. So, ayun, that's that's the result for us, or that's how the Click Mass Tasting was community during the quarantine.
Kaya kaya Dina, yung loyalty din ng mga fans ng Click, parang minsan hindi na nga natin kailangan mag-boost. They are really parang because na-build mo na yung relationship ng ng Click through time. Kumbaga maraming beses naman ang ginagawa.
Actually, yung pinaka-reason right now, because we're publishing the results of a campaign that actually to weird. We had our load to, which is an in-app game. Relaunch namin siya few days after the quarantine. So parang after it was announced. So parang it was launch on March 25, I think. So parang mga 1 week after. And then we were worried kasi na parang walang sasali. But then again, parang nung una mga hindi sila nakakasali. Tapos it was supposed to have weekly draws. And then in the first part of it, nababash kami. Pero right now, because we're slowly announcing the winners, medyo bumabalik na kami sa normal. Like we're drawing the results and posting winning users na and the winning numbers. Parang ngayon, yan, mas marami na ulit na they're happy. Tama yung sinasabi ni Herbert, when we started with Click, the Facebook page about 2 years ago maybe, parang mga puro hate reacts yung nakukuha namin. But right now, hindi namin nakakuha masyado ng mga late reacts. Except during the time that we turned off our services nung start ng ECQ because the kiosks were down. Hindi namin siya in-on for safety purposes. So, yun lang naman. Ngayon, wala. Very happy sila.
Thank you, Dina.
Thanks,
and
Dina.
guys, kung may question kayo kay Miss Dina and kay
Richard, lagay niyo ulit sa comment box. And we'll try to, or Richard and Dina can help us also later in the Q&A portion. Yeah. Thanks, Deans.
Maganda dito is when kung yung gobyerno natin hindi tayo binigyan ng mass testing, si Dina, and yung Click and 7-Eleven, binigyan tayo ng mass tasting naman para makakain tayo ng essential products. Another way to consider how to advertise is to make our celebrities work. So a lot of brands would have influencers na partners or celebrities. Sila ngayon yung may attention because buhay pa rin yung profiles nila. Sinusundan pa rin sila ng mga tao online. And in this example, si Eva Longoria, an A-list celebrity that has long endorsed yung package na hair dye ng L'Oreal. Actually, tinap siya ng L'Oreal para gamitin yung product. And nung ginamit to, binidyohan ni Eva Longoria gamit lang yung phone niya, nagkagulo yung buong Hollywood kasi A-list celebrity, inaasahan nila na ini-endorse lang pero hindi ginagamit. Actually, ginamit niya, kulayan yung puti niyang buhok. So, let's watch the video.
Hi guys. Notice anything? Yes, I'm at home. Anything else? Look at these grays. So many grays. Okay, I'll be honest. For a second I thought, okay, Grace, I'm ready to see you. I can handle this. But I'm not. I'm not ready. I am not ready for this much gray. This is happening today. Boom! I've never been this gray in my life. I don't think there's ever going to be a better before and after. Okay, time to color. I go from back to front, massage it in. Just put it where it's needed. Mine is everywhere. Color's done. It's time to condition. This is my favorite part. I love the smell of this conditioner. I'm not the best blow dryer. I look like Beyonce, but I think I did a pretty good job. Whew. No more gray! No more grays! Oh my God, I'm so happy. Me? Grays? No. There's no place like home. Plus, it's always nice to take a little me time. Self-care is self-worth because now, more than ever, we're all worth it.
Yun. So, kung titignan natin, parang napakalit na bagay na yung endorser nila ginamit mismo. Pero, ang laki ng effect dahil hindi mo aasahan yung celebrity na ginagamit ng mga normal na tao, quote and quote, na nagkagulo yung Hollywood. And yung sinute niya na video, in-air nila sa TV kasi sarado nga naman ang mga salon, hindi sila makakapag-promote, diba? Hindi makakapunta ng salon si celebrities like them. It became the first commercial ng L'Oreal brand na nationally televised that was actually shot lang via phone. So malaking bagay yung nangyari. Another way also to make our brand relevant is to reinvent yung product natin. So si Mattel is a very tenured na toy maker in the industry. And what they did was to dedicate a line of toys for the frontliners. So those workers who help keep us safe during the pandemic, like doctors, the emergency response team, the delivery and grocery workers, ginawa nila ng dolls to give homage to them. Another way is also yung Ginebra San Miguel, locally produced na yung label nila, instead na yung San Miguel, yung Saint Michael the Archangel na image, ang nilagay nila dyan sa label is yung mga frontliners. They dedicated that space for them. And as a result, despite the national liquor ban, this move by Ginebra San Miguel actually created buzz for them. So they were celebrated for this effort. And lastly, it also pays to be creative, like Burger King. So Burger King, with their best-selling product and most famous product, the Whopper, what they did was to launch the Quarantine Whopper. Basically a recipe of how their customers can recreate their best-selling product at home. So nilista nila yung recipe para makopy, para magawa nila sa bahay nila. But in the end, we can do a lot of things to make our product relevant. But in the end, the best communications during a crisis is still action. Iba pa rin kapag meron tayong ginawa instead na may sinabi lang. Just like this brand, Singapore Airlines, ang ginawa nila was to redeploy yung cabin crew nila na sanay mag-alaga ng mga tao sa plane, redeploy them for hospital care. Kung yung mga taong nangangailangan ngayon talaga. And then another company na moving service naman, they offered their free services to those who are facing domestic violence, those na mga stuck sa bahay nila, being abused, tinulungan nila makaalis for free. Another effort was from Google, who donated $800 million worth of support to small businesses as a crisis response, especially in terms of investment to the businesses who were really hit by the lockdown, and ad grants, pang marketing budget nila to rise again. Another thing is the Hospitality for Hope initiative, wherein yung hotels in the US banded together to lend rooms for health workers and to turn some of their facilities into healthcare facilities. Lastly, you have companies like Ford, 3M, and GE Healthcare who set aside competition to come up with products like respirators, ventilators, and face shields. Leveraging on their expertise, tulungan sila to come up with products quickly for the public talaga. So yun, I'll turn you over to Jake to synthesize what we can take away from these case studies.
Thanks a lot, Jeans. Before I move on, I just want to thank everybody who's watching still right now. Again, if you guys have questions, please hit us up on the comments box, and we'll try to answer all of them at the end of the session. So moving on, what we're really trying to say is be present during the pandemic, do good, be different, and people will remember us and repay you for your brand long after the crisis is over. Next slide. But sometimes a couple of questions crop up as we go through this whole situation, and this is one of the questions. What if our supply chain is broken? Even if we stimulate demand with advertising, we won't be able to put our product on the shelf. The answer is, when that happens, next, of course, don't advertise a specific product that you can't supply. I mean, it's just going to be impossible. But do make your brand present. Do continue to communicate and connect with your target during the pandemic. That way, they'll still remember you once the whole crisis is over. Next slide. What if our company has run out of money to advertise during the crisis? And one possible answer would be, use your own media. So by now, hopefully you'd have some social media platforms that you constantly utilize: Facebook, IG, YouTube, and all those. Try to use them and consider partnerships to earn free media for your brand. Next. So some key takeaways from this afternoon session. Brands' natural reflex during the crisis is to withdraw and go dark. But brands shouldn't, because it would be harder for them to recover after the lockdown if they do. But the good news is, as we've seen from the data we've shared earlier, the audience is there. They're online, they're watching, either they're watching TV or they're online and watching brands. Next slide. Well, how do you produce materials when you can't shoot? Or, well, now we may already start shooting, but there's still a lot of restrictions. So as we mentioned earlier, repurpose ads, use graphics, use animation, shoot using your phone. Everybody's got a phone, so that should be easy to do. Use emerging technologies. We mentioned TikTok, there's Kumu as well. Be agile, as in the case of Click. Make your celebrities work. If you have celebrities and they're not doing anything, they're just at home, you might want to make them work. Entertain, like the way we did it for Orocan on the Cubeta Got Talent. Try to reinvent your product. And of course, as always, be creative. Next. But of course, in the end, however, the best comes during the crisis is still action. All right. Next slide. So if you don't give a shoot us a note. Hit us up on our different social media platforms on Facebook, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. So if you need our guidance, our help, our support in any way, do let us know, and we'll try to be there for you. At this point, we'd like to move on to the Q&A portion, if there are questions. Let's see if there are questions. There's a question from Gemma Mendoza. Repurposing ads comply with the need to stay home. Will this be the new normal in advertising? Will this not circumvent the intellectual property right of the original creative team? Your thoughts? Well, offhand, hopefully it won't be the new normal. Hopefully we'll soon be back doing things that we've always been doing, shooting ads like we've always done before. But yes, for now, we may repurpose ads. With respect to the intellectual property rights, usually it depends on the contract between the client and the agency. The rights usually reside either with the client or with the agency. And when that's sorted out, if you do own the rights, then by all means you should be able to use that for the next years to come. Yeah. Other questions? There's another question. Do you recommend brands to launch while in pandemic? Herbert, Badong, you guys want to take this on?
Okay.
What?
Sige, ako I can add.
Okay, go.
So, siguro in terms of launching brands, magandang mag-launch ng brand ngayon when especially you're launching the brand for a specific purpose or a specific gap in the market. So, kung maglo-launch ka ng brand, you'll have to revisit when I come into the market, am I relevant? Am I not? In the past few weeks, you've seen yung grocery services, di ba? Yung mga products like yung pangpindot ng mga bagay-bagay ngayon, ang daming nilo-launch na mga bagong kailangan. Yun yung maganda dahil na-shake yung buong mundo, nagbago lahat ng mga kailangan ng mga tao. The more na may opportunity makapasok yung mga bagong brand. Yun yung kailangan lang i-revisit when you're launching a new brand.
Sila Dina, sa client naman. Dina, what can you say about launching ngayon pandemic?
For me, okay pa rin naman. Like for us, we're still launching some new products, new SKUs in the store right now. We're trying to maximize use of digital, so social media is a platform naman that's free. If you have a good following naman, there's always parang customers that will avail of the product.
Richard? Right now daw, Richard.
For me, it depends, no? Personally, kami, we're not launching anything, but I've seen other companies launch new brands like online supermarkets and things like that. But the most important thing is you have to sure that meet the needs of the people, no? And you need good customer service, no? Especially now. Yeah, so it really depends on what kind of product and what kind of brand you're trying to.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Richard.
Nag-mute ba?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
So for me, it really depends, no? It really depends on what kind of brand you want, no? We want to launch because you really need to meet the needs of the people. Yun nga, and you really need to have good customer service because now people are just at home, no? So they have a lot of time to
magreklamo
to complain and to think of their orders, diba? So you really need to be able to service them properly.
Actually, maganda nga lahat ngayon nasa bahay eh. Ang best, isa nga sa best na hindi pa ginagawa is direct mail. Kasi lahat nasa bahay.
May mag-receive.
May magre-receive. Hindi sila makakatago. So yan.
Siguro I'll add din, kasi may mga brands din pala. Aside from launching new brands, we can launch new campaigns dahil may mga products yung mga existing companies na biglang nabuhay parang never naman hindi tayo masipag bumili ng mga disinfectant and everything. Ngayon, naghabol sila ng campaign for it to meet the demand and to generate demand pa.
May pahabol. Go, Badong.
The question of, sabi nga ni Gino, relevance, no? Like there was a point made a while back na perhaps one of the pivots that we can make as a brand is to repurpose or to reinvent our product. For some brands, they have in their portfolio perhaps a variant that boosts the immunity of people. Matagal pa tong laban sa COVID. So for example, if you're in the canned goods industry, you have a product that has zinc. Maybe you can put it out there and make it your flagship for the next couple of years. Or we're familiar with detergents and bars that have the power of a disinfectant as well. I mean, it's an easy pivot for detergents and detergent companies to make the bars and the powders with disinfectants, because that's going to be a need as well. So tama si Gino, launch products, and of course Richard will have a need, will services a need during this very, very peculiar and strange time caused by COVID.
So hindi lang make your comms relevant, but at the same time your actual product, no?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, it's both comms and the product. Yeah.
May pahabol na question pala, sorry, Badong. How would you make your brand relevant during this pandemic without being insensitive? So they're talking about insensitivity naman. From Vayan Manligues. About sensitivity.
Yeah. Yung Orocan was di ba? Parang a child of that particular route. Pwedeng sabihin ng iba na ba't ka nagpapakasaya, maraming nagugutom sa labas. Pero actually, it was very, very sensitive kasi ang kailangan ng mga tao talaga is distraction, is entertainment. Na babato ka na sa bahay, na you're going nuts at home. So you need to get entertainment. So that's what the brand provided them. Pero entertainment that is linked and it goes back to the DNA of the brand, which is really the bathroom, which is really the bath pail, which is really the tabo, which is really Orocan. So tahi-tahi lahat.
Yeah, and if you go back to one of the data points that we shared earlier, we said that only around 8% of the people didn't want to see any advertising at all during this crisis. Meaning, gusto nila manood, gusto nila makabasa, and they want to see stuff that will entertain them, that will make them laugh. That will make them, temporarily forget about what's happening outside. And hopefully what we did with Orocan, Cubeta Got Talent, hopefully that sort of distracted them for a while and made their lives a lot easier and a lot lighter, at least for a while. Yeah.
Additional pa, I mean, even kaya nga sobrang hit na hit yung mga Netflix, yung mga other entertainment. Hindi naman sila relevant ngayon eh. Even the NBA, di ba, ang uso ngayon is the Last Dance, di ba? Wala namang yun eh. Pero yung entertainment yung isang way lang. Pero dapat nga, tama si Badong eh, dapat pasok sa DNA ng brand mo. Kasi nga ang ganda nga ng description nila about brand na nagiging emotional right now para daw yakap ng isang stepfather. Parang pinipilit yakapin ka, di ba? So, as long as parang kailangan sincere ka, kasi kailangan pasok sa DNA mo yung communication mo, kung ano pa man yun. May pahabol pang question pala rito. What do you recommend is the best communication to use for an unknown company to create a campaign and introduce itself in the market online amidst the pandemic and be able to grab share in commodity industry such as baking flour and oil? So, yun. Napaka-specific.
Is this already a briefing session?
Si Ralph, from Rebulanan.
Actually yung product sobrang pasok siya sa panahon ngayon kasi lahat ng tao, sabi nga paglabas ng quarantine, paglabas ng lockdown, marunong nang magluto. Chef na sila.
That's true.
So sobrang timely nung
Baking flour and oil, sobrang importante ka ngayon.
I think may idea na si Joni. So, Ralph, please call us up after this session.
Yeah, but seriously, it's all about, I think, the idea. No, hindi mo kailangan ng film, hindi mo kailangan ng pwedeng hindi naman Facebook post, pwedeng hindi naman activation or what. So it's all about the idea. Kailangan strong yung idea mo. And once you have that big idea, kahit film pa yan, simple post pa yan, or simpleng post lang na walang image, magte-trend yan and mabebenta. So kailangan lang talagang i-check yung DNA ng brand, just like
Correct.
you mentioned, and then yung intention, of course. Yep.
All right.
Just to say something on top of Joni's piece, no? Tama siya, no? Kahapon naka-escape ako, punta ako sa sa supermarket kasi medyo mas magaan na ngayon sa daan. Tapos I discovered sa shelf ng baking talagang walang all-purpose flour. So people have time during the lockdown to cook.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's the only time they have to be able to dig up recipes or research recipes or bake even. So it's very, very relevant now. So it just may be the time for you to introduce yourselves because there's quite a need for it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next question. The next question is from Isa Parazo. For brands that want to advertise but don't have the budget, what's the best way to be salient without the money to achieve the reach? Actually, some of the things that we shared earlier might answer this. We said earlier one is repurposing ads or making use of your existing social media channels if you already have them. Just post. Obviously, if you don't have the money, you can't post, but just keep on posting. Continue to create and maintain that connection with the people. We had other things about also being entertaining. And all these things, if you try combining and seeing if you can really achieve what you want to, if you have all these things together, then there'll be a chance that you'll be able to still talk to the market in a way that's not expensive and that where you don't really spend a lot.
Ako, Jake, ang masasabi ko dyan, look for the perfect and right agency to partner with. So yun.
Yeah, I wonder who.
I'll add. So yung nga, siguro, I'll add, hindi, ang lang is, kapag small yung budget, kailangan big yung idea. Mas lumalabas yung importansya na maganda, talkable, malaki yung kahinat na ng media because wala kang pambili ng attention. Wala kang pambili ng boosting, gano'n. So, the more you should invest in the right partners, the right idea in this time.
Mas magastos kasi pangit yung idea, mas magastos. Kasi you need to boost, you need tapos sayang yung effort. So yun, big idea talaga.
Sabi nga ni Bert lagi, pag hindi ka nag-risk, mas riskier yun. pag hindi ka nag-take ng risk sa panahon ngayon. So yun.
Or you can like contribute to the effort now that we're in COVID. Maybe have partnerships, contribute in kind. It doesn't have to be money. But it has to spring from your DNA as a brand again for it to be differentiated. When it's differentiated, media will talk about it kasi hindi pa nagagawa. And when it's talked about, that is brand mileage for you without you forking over currency. I think yung magaling ngayon dyan, I think is San Miguel. Talagang San Miguel has, like on all fronts, been able to express its love for the nation, its concern, in a way that's unique to the brands of San Miguel. Like, for example, for Petron, they sort of like opened up Petron and as a distribution point for farmers and their goods, fresh produce. The packs of Ginebra San Miguel is another manifestation of a unique way of brands talking to the market in this particular milieu in a way that's very, very true to Ginebra San Miguel as well. So as a company, I feel that it's sort of cracked it, being faithful to what it is as a conglomerate and as individual brands, but also being able to contribute to the national conversation during this time of COVID. I think long after this is over, San Miguel will be well remembered for having been a prime mover during this very, very trying time.
Sincerity, no? Yun yung key, sincerity. Na sincere effort. Kasi lang maitatago ng ano lang kayang gawin ng comms pero yung action talaga ng brand will reflect talaga. Will reflect sa mga ginagawa niyo.
Tapos, it goes back to the DNA of the brand. Kaya unique yung kanilang mga nagagawa kasi tinatanong nila, ano ba yung magagawa ko ngayon as a brand? As defined by my brand purpose.
Actually, background check ko yung nagtanong. I discovered na nasa Jollibee siya. Diba, ang laking bagay ng Jollibee. Kasi Filipinos usually look forward to Jollibee as the harbinger of joy in the country. Diba? Feel ko naghihintay yung tao ng next move nyo. Diba? Kayo yung foremost brand ng bansa. So, madami. Hinihintay kayo.
Now's the time. Next question. This next question is for Richard, if Richard's still with us.
Okay. Hi.
For Richard, you mentioned earlier that there are times when you get scared when the agency proposes an idea. But what made you decide to pursue or sign off an idea despite that?
Well, like what I said a while ago, like what I said a while ago, it has to be in line with who your brand is, right? Even if it's, like what they were saying a while ago, mas gagastusan mo pa yung masamang idea, di ba? So if you know and you think that it's a good idea, but you're unsure of it, sometimes you have to, it's always a gamble naman, right? For me, I think any kind of campaign, no matter how much work you put on it, it's a gamble. You don't really know how the people will respond. So you have to take a gamble also sometimes, right? But again, it becomes a safe kind of gamble if it's in line with who your brand is, right? So for me, that's what's most important. Don't do things for the sake of doing things just to become one viral or, to be kind of relevant. Just be true to who your brand is, diba? So for me, I think that's the best way to answer the question.
Yeah, tama.
All right.
Kasi kung ano yung brand mo, 'di ba? Ngayon nga yung best time daw to be honest kung ano yung brand mo ngayong panahon. Yeah?
All right. I think we have one last question. It's from Lester De Losa, and it says, any tips for clothing brands and other wearable companies on what they can do while people are in quarantine?
Jake, karamihan sa mga designer ngayon na local, ang ginagawa nila, gumagawa sila ng PPE. So, yun yung mga tela nilang gagamitin para sa mga susunod na products nila, dinonate nila, and then ginawa nilang PPE. And then binigay sa mga hospitals. And actually, even yung mga international brands, yun din yung ginagawa ngayon. So,
right. So, parang it's the same lesson that we shared earlier about reinventing your brand.
That's true.
Tama. All right. I think that's it for now. Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you, everybody who attended this session. Thank you
to Adobo Magazine.
Adobo Magazine Superstar. Mm-hmm. And thank you to our guest panelists, our clients who joined us, Richard and Dina.
Very much.
Salamat. Salamat.
Thank you.
And for all the rest, if you want to get in touch with us, like we mentioned earlier, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So just please reach out to us there. Once again, thank you very much. This has been Gigil, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.